Happy Thursday! Investment Blueprint Thursday. Had a crazy day today, but we here, we excited. Let me see. There we That was easy enough. Yo, Tim, how you, big homie? How you making out? Congrats on that sale too, man. Lorenzo in the building. LeVar, what's going on?
What's good, man? How's everything?
I'm all right. How you? Can you hear me good?
Yeah. We good. We
Okay,
straight.
okay.
Hold up.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Happy holidays too.
You too, brother. How's everything?
Everything is good, man. Made it through this crazy year, man. I know last time we talked, we ain't see none of this COVID stuff jumping off.
No, COVID threw us off a bit. It killed everything. It's gonna be some ramifications with this. We're gonna see how this gonna go. So I'm hoping that it all works out the way I'm predicting, but we'll see.
So is that like a secret between you, or can you share it with the people?
I mean, my thing is this. I see what's happening. So you got a situation right now where the government is propping everything up. They're about to pass the second stimulus. You got a situation where the businesses are getting all this money as a bridge loan almost. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to become a point in time where you got to take that money out the system. You put too much money in the system, you got inflation. So now, if everybody running around here with $100,000 in their bank account, then $100,000 ain't worth nothing. So if you got 100 grand, I got 100 grand, then we're going to be paying $100,000 for a loaf of bread.
Right.
So, so it becomes a point in time to where you got to take the money out the system and let the market do what the market does. This is capitalism. The thing about capitalism is that the system itself is set up so that everybody in here has free opportunity, supposedly free opportunity, to actually go in and make things happen. You're going to have winners and losers in that.
Okay.
And that's just how the game is set up. I tell people all the time, that's why I put the video of Ray Dalio's How the Economic Machine Works on my page. It's probably the best demonstration of how the system is set up to play.
Okay.
And he breaks it down and buyers and sellers and whatnot and all that. Yeah.
On your IG page?
No, I didn't I put it on my Facebook page, but it's a link. Just look up Ray Dalio's How the Economic Machine Works. It's a 30-minute video and it's not boring. It's animated and you can get in there and see everything. So.
Speaking of which, I just read something, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he's starting a scholarship at an HBCU for people to get into real estate development.
Who started scholarship?
Ray. Oh, Peoples. I'm sorry, Peoples.
Oh, Don Peoples?
Don Peoples, yeah.
We call him Ray. His Don Peoples. Yeah, I mean, listen, the real estate game is not one of these games that a lot of us from our culture didn't know about. So I even noticed it. If I would have known about real estate back when I started college, I probably would have gone into it just to have an inquisition about it, to understand what's going on, just to get a feel for it. But in school, we didn't have that,
Right.
Most people in school pretty much was, social workers, teachers, stuff like that. I just chose an engineering degree. I was good at math and science, so that worked for me.
But that engineer degree puts you in position to invest in real estate later on.
I would say it gave me somewhat of the analytical approach to it.
Okay.
The deductive reasoning to look at something and say, okay, it looks like this. I can break this down. Let me extrapolate that and then go forward. That's what I'll probably say it did for me. I wasn't good at writing papers. I didn't want to do that in college. Like you get me up there, 10-page paper. You up here got the 10 Courier font. You trying to double do the daggone lines, trying to stretch it out.
Right.
No, give me the test, dog. Let me know. Listen, if the ball is here at this angle, I throw it up there at this angle. At this force times mass equals acceleration. And what velocity does it go down over here? Let me get that.
Okay.
Right in the paper, because basically I'm BSing you the whole time. I'm half plagiarizing it. And then the rest time, I'm giving you a little bit of fluff just to hand it into you so you can give me a grade and keep it moving.
Okay.
So. But matter of fact, I'm going to tell you something about school. And this is the one thing I would tell and this is the first time I understood exactly how the economic system kind of works. and how this is nothing but a market-driven system, right? So when I first went to school, I was a communication major. So I called myself wanting to be on TV, have my own show, stuff like that, right? But I was an OSHA minor, right? So this is how this worked out. So I'm in school for like my first 2 years, communication major, OSHA minor. So then, you know, they have people that graduate and come back to the school and say what they're doing.
Okay.
Right? So people coming back with the communication degree, and I'm like, well, how much money are you making? They're like, well, you know, I'm making like 28 grand, 29,000 a year. And I'm like, oh, damn. But the ocean dudes will say, well, how much money y'all making coming off? I'm about 40, 42, 45. I'm like, what the fuck? 16 grand difference? And think about it. You got to think about this. Think about this. We all going to the same school.
Right.
For the same 4, sometimes 5 years.
Right.
If you need a little longer to get yours in.
Look.
We all going to the same school, spending the same amount of money, but somebody else can come out with a different degree and make a different amount of money than you could with a different degree. Oh, it's market driven now. Okay, so basically what it's saying is, when I graduated with an OSHA degree, it wasn't that many people with OSHA degrees. So therefore, it's high demand, limited supply of people like me. So you got to pay me more money for my qualities, for what I'm selling to you as a service, right? The communication people, there's plenty of them. So when you go to a job, they look at you like this and say, well, I can get dime a dozen.
Right.
I ain't got to pay you as much. It's the same thing in real estate. Okay. When it's hot and it's a seller's market, you know, you got the supply issues. When it's not, then you got the buy issues. It's the same exact thing.
Right. So like
same exact thing.
Like right now with the market, sellers is like, yeah, I ain't doing no repairs. It ain't too much to talk about. Either you want to pay it or don't. Because it's 3 of y'all walking down the street that want to buy the same house.
They up, man. They up right now. Like, you know, you got to commit. You know, everybody get a chance on what I call the fuck wheel. Everybody get a chance. Everybody gets a chance on the fuck wheel, man. It's your chance now. Go ahead and do your thing.
Right. Get your money while
get yours right now. So another year, it's going to be my chance. Let me get mine. I'm going to be buying now. Now it's my chance. When the buyer market comes and it's time to go back in, now I'm dictating. So but that's just how the game is set up.
So you saying maybe another year, like you said, another year. So after this stimulus money and all of these, even the bank people love where, oh, I know you affected by COVID. I'm gonna give you some time. You don't got to make a couple payments. We'll push the stuff on the back end.
Well, yeah, they push it on the back end, but you look at your credit report. You know, they know that you took a deferment.
Right.
It's messing with you when you go try to do new stuff now. When you go in there try to get new when you go in there and you try to get new loans and they pull your credit report and they see these other ones is in deferment, then the bank gonna be questioning you like, well, if you can't make the payments on these,
how you gonna make
I'm gonna give you new money.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes if you have to go on deferment, I would tell you to go ahead and do it. If you don't have to do it, then don't do it.
Okay.
Right? Because you have to understand what your plan is. If your plan is in the next 6 months, I got to get these loans started, and you know that's going to happen, then you got to sit down and say, I'm going to sacrifice on this. I'm going to take this on the chin. And then, you know, I'm going to go ahead and do what I got to do.
So right now, people that are looking to get in the game, would you suggest that they want to get in the game? Or, you know, it's like, yo, still get in the game while you can? Because like a lot of people, they got, like you said, everybody got money. I got people calling me every other day, don't know nothing about real estate, but they just know they want to do real estate because somehow, somewhere, they got some money. I'm young people.
Yeah.
Everybody got some money.
That's what I'm saying. So now you got a whole function of cash. It's monopoly money. See, when everybody running around monopoly money, you got 100 grand, I got 100 grand. Now we all got 100 grand. Now, what is it worth? Now the prices is getting high because what you want is the actual product.
Right.
Product is limited. So now you want to pay more money for it.
Right.
It's crazy. Listen, I have never,
houses we was paying 40 for, now we paying 78.
I'm going to take you back a little further, man. 2014, 15, man, we was down the sheriff's cell getting shitter cribs for 4,000 or 5,000, man. Like it was nothing. Everybody was eating.
Right.
Everybody was getting it. I knew, and that was when I saw that, I knew that this wasn't gonna last.
Okay.
This wasn't gonna make it. So when I first started going, when we was down there heavy, like really heavy,
that was
everybody was
go down there and load up the clip.
Yeah, you go down there and load up, and I see what was happening. Because when you go on the sheriff's, it's like United Nations. You know, you see all nationalities in the city of Philadelphia up inside the sheriff's cell.
The overseas.
You got the African Americans in the back. You got the Asian guys over here. You got the Spanish guys over here. You got the guys from Central Asia. I don't want to disrespect nobody by saying, but you got everybody up in there trying to get to this product, right? And they bidding this stuff off. So therefore, you start seeing it, and you start seeing what everybody buying, and it's like, okay, this is what's going on. Now, this is what happens. I tell people this all the time. People don't understand why the market start going up. This is what happened. So, because I did it, and when I did it, I knew what was happening. We used to assign the bids to guys who weren't in the sheriff's cell. So I went to bid. I signed the bids to boy, make a couple dollars, right? So then he go get his deed. His deed says sheriff deed, right? When you get your deed from the sheriff's joint, right? So he like, well, I just paid this boy umpteen number of dollars to sign the bid. I got a sheriff's deed.
Right.
Why do I just not come down there and buy it myself and get it at the price directly from the supplier?
Right.
Why wouldn't I do that? So therefore, when all the guys is flipping homes to everybody, you think them buyers just gonna let you just keep eating off of them when they can come right up in there, a free room, everybody's welcome? Right. That ain't gonna happen. Over time, that's the part that people just don't understand. So when I saw that, I said, I gotta get on this shit now.
Right.
So when I seen, especially them lots, when them lots was cheap as they was, I said, okay, I see what's happening. I gotta get as much as I can get right now and then go broke on it. Because I knew what was gonna happen. I knew eventually them prices was gonna get high. And I was gonna get priced out and I couldn't buy nothing. So that's just how the game went.
So but right now what the market, especially the way it is like, yo, even now people still getting priced out.
Sit your ass on the sideline, man. Just sit down, man. Just sit down.
You ain't missing nothing.
Just wait, man. You got money. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Real estate is one of them businesses like this. You can't strike out.
It's always going to be real estate.
All you got to do is sit in the batter's box and wait for the right pitch.
So be patient.
Be patient.
So wait, before you.
I haven't bought nothing since 2019.
All right, so hold on. So look. So
be patient. Be patient. Chill.
So
sit down.
It's easier said than done, right? So look, I spent the whole pandemic chilling. I wasn't really looking because I'm like, yo, I sell this stuff, but for me, it's just not, something ain't enough. So I've been being patient. But at the same token, it's like, you see all your folks out here,
highlight. Listen, man. Stop watching the highlight reels, man. Stop it, man. Stop watching the highlights. Stop watching. Listen, when the boy put the tape together, he's showing you everything that's good. You don't know how he got it. Chill, man. If the deal don't make sense, buy the property based upon what you want to make off of. I tell people this all the time, man. Stop trying to just jump in just because somebody else is saying they did this.
Okay.
You don't know how they did that. They're not giving you they're not giving you the whole tape. See, the thing about it, I can look at somebody's deal and be like, yeah, I know how you did that. The one thing about real estate is the fact that it's all documented.
Right.
All this is documented. I can go on iChris. I can tell you what you paid. I can tell you what bank you went to. I can tell you what loan officer you used. And I can tell you what your loan amount is. It's all documented. So if you're going to lie to me, go ahead and tell me what address is that? You said you owned it this date. What's the address? It's all documented. It's public record.
Right. Okay. So, but overall, you saying, yo, don't be so pressed. Don't get caught up don't get caught up in the social media game.
Man, listen, man. This is now this right here is you taking this to a whole nother level. This social media, the social media game is why you got all these rules changing.
Talking about for the wholesaling and stuff.
Come on, man. Like when Balls is sitting up here making 10, 15, 20 grand, right? You gonna make 10, 15, 20 grand. You're showing off. I just made a dub, right? With no money out my pocket, with not a dime out my pocket. You think nobody else is gonna want to do this shit?
Right, right.
Like, really, you think they ain't gonna want to just jump into it? The same way you just floating, you to the dub, you on the jet, you wholesaling with no money on the pocket, and you on the jet. For dub. Like, and you think they ain't gonna say nothing about that? Wholesaling been going on for generations. They've been doing the same game for generations. Didn't nobody know about it? It was not until, in my opinion, not until the internet got in, is that at that point in time when everybody starts showing it off, it's like, oh shit, we gotta stop this shit. We gotta slow it down.
So I'm saying, I feel two ways about it, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like, especially us, because you said something earlier, like, yo, they don't teach us this stuff in school. So I'm saying, at a certain point, though, it's good to have the internet to learn it, but at the same token, everything don't gotta be for everybody.
Well, you ain't gotta listen, man. It's some aspects of internet that you put on your life. Some things you put out, some things you don't. You ain't gotta put everything on the street. I get accused sometimes because on my page I really don't show my face like that. I'm pretty much all about the work.
Right.
So it's just who I am. So, but I'm because people have been asked. I used to teach, and that was some years ago. But I was so focused on doing what I was doing, it didn't matter to me. Just have your blinders on, do you, and be happy with that.
Right. So
don't follow what nobody else doing.
So me and the homies was talking about this the other day. How not all of them, but some of the stuff you see, people you see on social media, like we said, we could check the numbers, but let alone you only did one deal. And like you said, I'm really busy doing the work. So how do I have time to coach you to $1 million in 30 days?
No, the problem is you really want it in 30 days. that's not realistic. But you really want it in 30 days.
But look, like you say, if you show me the jet and how I can do it without all my money, you telling me I'm gonna get this money in 30 days.
You're on the jet. You don't know if the jet flying or not. He might have paid the boy a couple dollars. Let me go and take a couple pictures. He might, you never know how it go down.
I got you.
I know. Listen, man, I'm from North Philadelphia. I know my people. I know how my people get down. We are excellent at the pump fake.
Okay.
The pump fake is what we do. We show it up, boom, get you going to it, and this is what it is. We excellent, and we talk. Our talk game is crazy.
Right.
So I know how my people are, man. That's the one thing about us. We are very vocal, and when it comes to it,
them storytellers.
Oh yeah. We could talk our way out of a paper bag, man. That's just how the game is set up. And we good at it. So you gave us this platform. Ain't nothing. We gonna shine right there.
Right, but at the same token, that was documented as how people getting caught up.
Well, nobody's checking. Nobody's checking. Who's vetting? Like, think about it. Who's really vetting? Who's taking the time to vet you? When the board's showing you this course, like, are you really vetting this guy? Are you really saying, well, look, man, how long you been doing this? Are you getting all your money from real estate, or are you just talking?
Right.
Are you really vetting this guy?
Well, no.
Like, I want to see exactly who know you. What bankers know you?
So do your due diligence, just like you do your due.
Yeah, you gotta do your due diligence on people, man. Because, like I said, it's documented. If you out here running deals and you ain't got no projects going on, stop it, man. Stop it, man. If you're selling me a course and you don't have any projects going on, stop it.
So there's nothing wrong with taking courses, but do your vet, like vet them.
Yeah, it's not wrong. Listen, man. At the end of the day, the whole internet is all about free communication. I understand, but at the same time, you got to vet the person who's telling you this information, right? You got to go up there to see if the person's saying this and that, and then vet them. Ask them to show you. Show me them HUDs that you saying. You saying you made this and that. Show me the HUDs. It's all documented. I probably have 95% of all the deals I ever did documented. I probably have it on my Dropbox somewhere.
Okay.
From when I first started, I didn't keep those, but probably about 95% of all the deals, whether it was through the wholesale business, whether it was, stuff I fixed and flipped, I probably have it all somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
So, like, it's not it's not about just the talking about it. It's about really vetting the right people to say, okay, they've actually done the business, and that person can tell me something. Because through experience is where you're able to help somebody.
Right.
Because if you run across a problem, put it like this. People talk about, and I know it's people out here with the sheriff's cell course and stuff like that, and I've watched it, and I'm sitting here like, nah, nah, it ain't really right, Poppy. It ain't right, Poppy. It just ain't right. Like, nah, because I was a notorious sheriff's cell guy. I was down there every month for years. The boys that work, the boys that work that office know who I am. They know me. I can call some of them on the phone right now and be like, yo, I need help with this. I need you, memo or something like that. Because we was down there. And the thing about it is like, you got a lot of issues sometimes with the Shell Soul product. And if you got a guy that don't really know, he just talking, he can't help you through them problems. Like, how do you handle the problem with the inheritance tax? Them tax lien Jones coming with them inheritance tax now.
Right.
You mess around, even after that year is up, after that year is gone, they say you can get title insurance. You still got to deal with that inheritance tax problem. Now, how do you get around that? I figured out how to get around it.
Okay.
Most people don't understand. I was going to the sheriff. So when we was getting title insurance on tax lien stuff, we was at the tax sale getting mortgages on the tax stuff. That stopped in 2013. May of 2013. I know exactly when it stopped. We thought it was going to change, but it didn't.
So for today's market, so is sheriff's sale even going on right now with COVID?
Nah, I talked to the one guy. He thought it was going to be started back in October, but right now they probably is, because think about it. I don't know how they're going to do it virtually. You going to do it virtually? It's an open market, public market.
Well, I guess like some of them other auctions online, put your bid in and it'll expire in 24 hours or something.
This is the city of Philadelphia, man. It comes with that. So you got to let them get it together.
Yeah,
let them get it together. Let's figure it out how we're gonna do this and go from there.
Yeah, we got enough issues with Eclipse and getting permits as it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's a whole different thing. Like Eclipse is because I've been on Eclipse a lot lately, especially with these new projects. I'm trying to get my permits and stuff like that. Yeah, you really gotta understand that system to be able to use it.
Gotcha. So those who don't know, Eclipse is this website to get your building permits, your renter's license, and all that good stuff. Now that go down to the guy's office. So with the market, or not, let's rewind. So for people trying to get in the game, like, what would you suggest? How can they prepare to take action?
This is what you need to do. If you're trying to get in the game right now, get that credit score high, man. Work on that credit, man. I tell people this all the time, man. And I was lucky when I first started because back when I first started, I had a friend in the family. She worked at First Union Bank. So she's married to one of my best friends, right? And I give her all the credit in the world. And every time I talk about Aaliyah, and it's crazy because I give you the whole story with that. But when I first started, so I'm going to my man's crib. We on there playing video games and whatnot. This is 2001. Right? We in his crib playing video games. I'm still in school. I'm doing my internship. So she come in and talking, right? So she come in talking about she was working. I want to say she was working at American Express as a financial person, something like that. Mm-hmm. But she come in and told me, I just read this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? So read the book. She like, man, y'all should start investing. And then me, I've always been, as soon as you talk that money, it clicks. It automatically just zoom like that. And I'm like, this book. So I get the book. I read the book, and she was like, you should invest in some stock. I'll never forget. I bought 5 shares of Continental Airlines, 5 shares of Disney. Right? This is right before 9/11.
Okay.
Right? So I did all that. But then she was like, well, LeVar, I can run your credit and, get you up here and see what's going on. So I went up there. She ran my credit. She was like, you owe like $96 on an old Sprint bill with a calling card and like $100 on an old medical. And I paid that stuff off. And then when I paid it off, my credit started. And then my first like 6 cribs, she did all the financing for me. So she basically helped me get started, helped me fix my credit before we knew what credit repair was.
All right.
Because she was just up there playing around. And I'll tell you, at the time, she was up there she was one of them financial advisors at the bank where they had to keep their numbers up. So she really was up there just pulling people's stuff, trying to get you an account. But she helped me out.
Right.
So, and then when she did that, she set me up. And then at that point, I was like, yo, like, all right, I see what's going on. And I just kept going from there. Once I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, it just added the things that I was already thinking in my mind. And I said, I got to go do this. I got to do this. Even though I didn't know what the hell I was doing. At that time, there was no Instagram, no Facebook, no share of information. You had to actually go in the street
and figure it
and find out what was going on.
So when you say work on your credit, you talking about have a 620 credit score, 700 credit score?
Try to get that thing above 700, man. Try to get that thing above 700.
That 700, are we going to go get business credit, or are we just trying to?
We're going to get personal. Whatever money we can get, we're going to go get that. You got to understand, like, the system is set up off of money is only in this system two ways: equity and debt. That's it. That's all you have is equity and debt. Think about it. When you buy a crib, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put some money down, right?
Right.
That's your equity.
Okay.
You go get a loan, right?
Right.
That's your debt.
Right.
That's it. That's the whole system. It's simple. It's simple. So either you're gonna have the money, or you're gonna be so much of a credit worthy person that someone's gonna loan you some money to be able to go out and buy something. That's what I tell people all the time. Like, get your credit score high, right? You go to the bank, get a personal credit line, right? Unsecured. If you got a high credit score, you get unsecured, especially if you got a W-2, unsecured. Now you got something to run with. If you gave you $25,000 credit line or a $50,000 credit line unsecured, now you got some debt to go buy something. And if you're a hustler, you're gonna buy something for 25, right? Knowing it's worth 50, sell it for 50, take the cheese on the top, the 25, pay the other 25 back. Now you got 25 on the house.
25.
Now you on house money.
Right.
Now you got a credit line for 50, which you are paid back off, and you got house money 25 grand. You in the game now, but don't ball out. It ain't time for you to ball out. That's don't ball out. You can't ball out. I can't ball out.
I can't get the rollie.
Come on, man. The rollie don't come until at least a decade in the game if you're really smart about it.
Ooh.
You know, what really just I buy certain things, but it took me some time. It took me because I was disciplined to a point where if any bit of money I got, I put it back in the street. That's just who I was. So, and that's just the way I looked at it.
So can you just talk on that discipline part? So where does that mindset come from? Or do I gotta fail a couple times to figure out, I need to
listen, man, the polo shirt with the nice horse on it was 50% off. So what you gonna do at that point?
Action. Outlet.
What you gonna do at that point? So let me ask you a question. If the polo shirt was $50 a shirt, and then you go in there one day and said that, well, the shirts is $10, you're gonna get 5 of them, right?
Right.
It's the same thing with the real estate game. It's no different. This is simple, man. Like you just got to look at it like that.
Okay.
When it's cheap, it's cheap. When it's high, it's high. You know when to hold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Like you got I'm telling you, man, some of this old school stuff taught us the principles that we really needed. We just never looked at them and say, okay, he's teaching me something. Yeah, all that stuff is elementary, man. It's not. I'm the type to where I'll be up 2, 3 in the morning, right, watching YouTube videos, watching Steve Schwartzman talk about Blackstone Private Equity Group, how he got started, right? He giving you the game, he breaking it down. It's fucking 3 hours. It's a 3-hour goddamn video, right? But I'm watching every piece of it because I know he gonna say something that's gonna click. Right. And that's gonna give me something because I'm out here looking for any bit of gems that anybody's gonna say, and so there's something that's gonna click in my mind and say, okay, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna try that. So like he was on there talking about how he started. I think he was like 38. You said he raised $1 billion.
Steve who?
Steve Schwartzman. Blackstone Private Equity Group. You'll hear KKR and all that, but Steve Schwartzman, right? Okay. So he in there talking. He runs multi-billion-dollar private equity firm. So he says when he gets started, right, he goes out. It was $1 million. It was during the savings and loan crisis. He said the first deals that they found was these garden-style apartments. He said the banks was just giving them away. Nobody wanted them, right? He said we bought them. He said it was third grade math. He put a little, I get the return like this, whatever it is. I'll get them stabilized. Wait till the market change. Then I'll go and refinance them and it's at a higher price. I'm like, okay. So 2 things he just taught me right there. He waited till the market was fucked up. And he saw his opportunity. But nobody wanted it. He jumped on it. He believed in the product because he looked at the numbers. The numbers say this, it's bringing in this, it's worth that. I'm making money. But the market itself is dictating what the current conditions is. So that taught me to say, okay, when you enter certain neighborhoods, where's the opportunity? That's why I got into the lot game. I was broke.
You made it work for your budget.
Listen, when you ain't they selling them Johns $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. All I had to do was learn how to build. Think about it. If the house was in the same, this will put me onto the lot game. I did a deal at this document. I'm gonna give you the address because it's documented. 4945 Walnut Street. This was 2012, 13-ish. I paid 70 grand for the crib. 3-story big ass joint, right? And a boy that me and him was cool at the sheriff's, so black boy who's starting to buy lots and was just starting to really build. It was like, yo, you paid 70 grand for that crib, right? He said, the lots around here going for 10, 15. Now, they wasn't ready to build yet. But if you could buy a bunch of them in the same neighborhood when it was cheap, let the neighborhood come up because you pushing the value with the rehab. You try to hit it out the box with the rehab.
Right.
And then eventually what's going to happen is if the path goes as you think, then them lots going to get to a point where they're ready to build, but you already got them. They matured now.
Right.
You got to look at it like it's like a CD. You put it in, wait till it mature, then you cash out.
Right.
You harvest. You got to plant the seed though. But nobody in this game, nobody wants to wait. People want it right now. And the way the game goes, it don't happen like that.
So, but I'm gonna also say you're right about people wanting it now, but I think the challenge is when you work living paycheck to paycheck, like talk about that, like you looking for some breathing room. You just like,
well, all right, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. You live in paycheck to paycheck, I get it, right? There's certain things you just can't do. Right now, I call Jingle Bell season right now. This is Jingle Bell season. You can't spend none. You can't stop it. You got to cut back. Work on getting your credit. So if you got an extra, you can't go out, you can't go do extra things. You got to focus and grind it out and find something that's an avenue to turn it around. See, that's the thing. People don't understand, like, at the end of the day, you're going to do one of 2 things. Either I'm going to trade my dollars for hours, my hours for dollars, or I'm going to go out and find, remember I told you earlier, it's a market-driven thing, right? Put it like this. If you was in the NBA, they paying NBA players $1 million contract, multi-million-dollar contracts. Right. It's market-driven. Ain't too many people that got that skill, and it's of high demand.
Right.
So therefore, Steph Curry, ain't so many people that can shoot like him.
Right.
So they was willing to pay him like that. It's the same thing with anything we do in America. It's a market-driven system. You got to understand what market you in, and are you in a market where it's less supply and it's high demand for what you can provide? And if not, then you got to change up.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is, you got ebbs and downs, ebbs and flows. Things come in. You may have another company come in, another business. The wholesale game slowed down for a lot of guys because everybody jumped into it. The deals ain't the way they was 4 or 5 years ago because people that made some money, they get on there and they show it off. Then everybody say, well, look, I'm coming in. Why? Because real estate is a commodity-based business. It's a commodity. It's not something, there's no patent on this shit. There's no patent on to say, okay, you know, I got something that you just can't do because I can sue you because you're taking over. It's a commodity-based business. That's why everybody going from neighborhood to neighborhood to neighborhood. Because once the neighborhood is hot and everybody go pick it clean, you got to go to the next neighborhood because it's a finite resource. Once it's done, it's done. You ain't getting no more deals. It's over. Now you got to go somewhere else.
All right, so let's rewind though. So we saying, look, with that, even paycheck, do something with your time so you're not spending that money and you keep burning up your paycheck. But
have a goal. Listen. Put it like this. Have a goal of what you want to do. If you want to save 5-10 grand, just line it out to say, okay, if it's 10 grand and you say it's going to take you 2 years, you got to save $500 a month. Right? You got to discipline yourself, man. You know, if you got certain people around you, now you just go ahead and ball out, man. Spend that money, man. Get away from them. I'll get away from people quick. That's the one thing. Listen, man, I'm cool. I get with you. It's cool. Like, you got to do your thing. I do mine. And no, I'm cool. I'm just cool. That's just who I am. That's just, I don't associate with a whole lot of people. Some people, if the energy is right, we can vibe. But if not, I'm cool. It's just, you know, I didn't get into the game for that. I got into the game to do what I want to do, to test myself, to say, okay, I put myself, this is my craft. Let me see how good I can get at this craft. And I've learned a lot about real estate doing that.
So even let's talk about that. So let's just say once you get to a certain point, not necessarily the flex, like the Rolex and whatever, but like, what do you think the real goal for somebody, like, because I know for me, it's about freedom. I love having freedom to pick my kids up, pick where to go.
Yeah.
And especially with the pandemic, I realized goals was really light. Like, I needed big goals because, like, my wife and my mom still work in the pandemic in the hospital. So it's like, I really need this money to put them in position so they don't have to work. So like I'm saying, like, what are your goals like now that, like, you've challenged yourself, you've done some things? Like,
I'm not done. I'm nowhere near finished. I'm just getting started. I'm nowhere near finished.
So, but that's what I'm saying. So where
you'll probably never hear me say I'm done. That's just not why.
So, all right, but that's what I'm saying. So where does it?
Because I don't do it for the money. Okay. I do it to challenge myself. I'm always going to be looking at certain things, and then my thing was establish your base. And I'm probably from my plan was establishing my base I'm probably about a year and a half away from really how I wanted to do it. I'm establishing my base. And then from that point on, you can pick and choose whether you want to keep going, slow up, you want to get into something else, or you want to invest in some other people. I'm to a point now where that was one of my ultimate goals, is getting to the point to where I understand real estate a lot different now than I did when I first started. So there are certain things I was observing about. Like, you look at, I give you a true story. So I forget what Eagles game. I'm flying down to Atlanta to watch the Eagles play, and then Jokers lost that particular game. But I was flying first class, right? So I do things sometimes just for comfort. Like I just want to be comfortable. So I'll pay a little extra money to do certain things, stay in a nicer hotels, that type of thing. So I'm on the plane. I'm sitting next to this guy, and we just talking. Older, Caucasian gentleman. We just in there talking. He was like 60-something. So we just talking, and we get into what you do or whatnot. And I showed him my page. I said, yeah, I do real estate. And he was like, how do you scale that? I said, that's how you scale. He's like, how do you scale that? It got to be hard to scale that, right? So then I said, hey, what are you doing? He was like, well, I run a private equity firm, right? So he said, we buy systems. We won't buy anything that you can't scale, right? So when he said, how do you scale that? He was like, yo, think about it. If you buy a property with, let's say, 10 units, the most it could ever be is 10 units. You won't get nothing bigger than that. It has limits. That's why you see some of these big guys, they go after the big shit. Because it's scalable. It takes the same amount of time to do them small deals as it do to do the big deals. And the thing about it is, if I buy a 2-unit property in Philadelphia, it can only rent to 2 people.
Right, right.
That's it. It will never be more than that. So what happens is some of the bigger guys, what they do is they go get big apartment communities because it's scalable, and the economies of scale allow them to do certain things with it that you can't do with a smaller project. I had to learn that. I had to be around dudes to see certain things. For me, people didn't teach me everything. No one said, this is how it go. Somebody will say something to me, and I'll think about it and be like, oh, okay, and go back and analyze it. And that's for probably the engineer degree and stuff like that, but that's just who I was.
Right.
And that's just how I'll look at it.
So, but you got to go back real quick. So, when we look at the bigger project, they give you other options other than the 2-family or just single jingle.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I'm hearing you right. Like the bigger projects, if it's 24 units, 24 units. So I'm saying, like, where the other options coming from?
Well, the other options is once you get above 5 units, even your debt situation changes. You can get these. If you do a 5-unit project that's at least $1 million, you can get these small balance non-recourse loans. Freddie Mae, Fannie Mae backed. Look it up. Called small balance non-recourse loans, Freddie Mae, Fannie Mae. Just look up the criteria. This is how the bigger guys are taking debt and using it to their advantage. I don't know, you guys, it kills me. It kills me every time I hear us talk about the free and clear house. It does not exist. There's no such thing as a free and clear house. It does not, again, it does not exist. It doesn't. And the thing about it, the guys, when they get big, this is what they do. They take on all that debt and they get non-recourse loans. Look at some of the developers' page, and I'll text you because I don't want to put their name out there. I'll text you, go look at their page, and they're going to be on there and gloating, saying that we just refinanced this particular multifamily property at this particular interest rate, at this amortization, non-recourse. He's telling you right there what's going on. So if he out there taking on debt and building this big shit, and then you got the dudes on the other side talking about don't take on no debt, well, who's what?
So wait, so I think we was just talking about this, me and Lorenzo, the other day, right? And we were talking about doing the bigger stuff. So it's like, I'm just saying that the elementary level that I understand of it. If I take one of these bigger projects, I do a refi, or even instead of me buying 10 of these cribs at 10,000 each, hopefully it's worth 500 someday. But if I buy one building at 500 now, I know it's going to be worth $1 million a lot sooner than the little 10 cribs for 10 grand. And now I got line of credit money. I got, I don't know, cash out.
You got a lot of credit money. You got a better track record. You got everything. Most people don't understand. You got to build yourself up for a bank to loan you that type of money. Ain't no bank going to loan you $10 million and you've never done a deal close to that or very similar to. Why would he do it? That's your debt partner. Remember, I told you it's equity and debt. Right. You need partners. No matter if you got equity partners, you got debt partners. When you go to the bank, that is your partner. It's your partner. That's why they evaluate you. So why they say, well, give me all your tax returns. I'm going to see what you own. What's your experience? They ask you a bunch of questions. Why? Because you're in the partnership.
So with these, even just with the bigger deals, can you still do like hard money for buying rehab with these bigger deals?
Yeah, you get money is anything. Hard money is just hard. It's just more expensive. You can do it. Listen, hard money is no different than regular money. It's still money. Okay. It's just the fact of which one is the higher interest rate. Hard money usually going to come with a higher interest rate, shorter terms. The whole benefit of hard money is that they get in it quick. When you go to the bigger bank, it's going to take you 60 days. The reason why people go to hard money is because they need it right now. It's still money. There's no different types of American money. You know this, right? There's no different types of money. There's no A-class American money. There's no B-class share of American money. There's no C-class share of American money. The Benjamin look the same as they do on the other Benjamins. Right. It's the same thing.
Yeah, somebody just typed in. They got some. I guess somebody on here. They just typed it in on here.
Well, yeah, you know, yeah, everybody gonna put on it. It's money is money. However you get it, you get it.
Right. It's just what can you do with it to make it.
It's what can you do with it, man. It's you all. When you borrow somebody's money, you gotta look at the cost of the money. You gotta evaluate. Okay, how long is it gonna take me? How much is it gonna cost me for the money? And then whatever I'm gonna do with it. If I'm gonna make some money real quick and I used it, cool, it worked. You know, sometimes the speed of that transaction is why you take that money.
Right.
So you know, it's all set up. It's simple, but it's not simple. It's just understanding how to look at it and getting good at how to really analyze and look at it. And that's pretty much it.
Right. And but that's where the engineering comes in.
You would say engineer degree, but I was young. I was doing stuff at a young. I was down my aunt's crib at 7 years old, trying to clean the backyard, trying to get $10.
Right.
I give you a crazy lesson, right? Just a crazy lesson. So I grew up in North Philly on Farrell Street, right around 6th and York. Back then, on Reese Street, Reese and Dolphin, Mr. Henry had a corner store. My first lesson in money, I had been about 5 years old, 5, maybe 6. So I used to go around to the corner store, and then I used to go play video games. But what I used to also do was go get a bunch of them penny bubble gums, right? He'd give me a bag of the penny bubble gums, a bunch of sugar in the joint, but I would just chew them up, the sugar, I'd spit them out. But peep game. So I used to give him a quarter. I didn't really know what a quarter was. All I know is when I gave him this shiny circle, he gave me a big bag of bubble gum, right? One time I go around there, the nickel looked like the quarter. I give him a nickel. He gave me 5 pieces of bubble gum. And I looked at him and was like, it ain't right. You owe me something. He gave me a lesson right there about money. He said, this is 5 cents. This is 25 cents. This is worth more than this. So I'm only going to give you this because that's all you gave me.
Right.
I'll never forget that.
And
never forget.
Wow. You remember that.
I remember that.
So
it was so crazy. So it was cut. I dropped this gem and I tell people to do it. My aunt, I think I said this the last time my aunt did something for me. One of my aunts that I don't know if she realized for somebody like me how much was going to resonate. So when I was born, she bought me a savings bond for $25.
Right, yeah,
you know, back then it was $12.50 for the savings bond. But I cashed it in when I was like 18. So when it matured, it's supposed to be $25. You just double the money. But when I cashed in, it was like $168. At that point, I had my first lesson in the time value of money and compound interest. How the hell is something that's supposed to be $25 worth $168? So what I did was, I said, okay, I could duplicate that process. Sheriff sells some of them lots was selling for opening bid $1,500. Can I get any more? $1,600. So some of your homies, you know, they got kids, give them a lot. For the I did it for two people that I'm real close with.
I think you said.
Huh?
The baby shower.
Baby shower.
Yeah.
They gonna remember. The kids ain't gonna remember no diaper cakes. You're not gonna remember what the crib looked like. Stop it, man. You give them a lot. All they gotta do is cut the grass, pay the taxes, and pay the little, you know, water bill. In 18 years, it's gonna be worth more than what I paid for it.
Right.
And then you never know, that'll spark something in their mind to say, somebody did that for me, then you'll pass it along.
Right. And then we changed the generation stuff that's going on.
Listen, that crib I did at 4945 Walnut Street, the girl who bought it, and you know, she didn't look like me. Her parents dropped $75,000 on her as a down payment.
Mm.
What do you think? Like, we don't understand what wealth does in this country. Once we get that together and understand ownership and control of goods and resources, we'll be a lot better.
All right. So look. So don't give them no more. Don't give them. Don't give them no more. That was a lot right there.
You know, like it's a lot of different things. I can tell you all the general knowledge. I can give you all the general talk, but the intricacies of it is what you really got to understand.
Okay.
Like it's more or less why I did that. You just don't do stuff just to do it. You do it for a reason. I did this because I was going to do this. I did this because I was going to do that. You know, so at the end of the day, it's just the way you set it up.
Okay.
Man, you know.
So, question for you now, like with the market,
Yeah.
you still looking in Philly, or are you exploring other markets?
We started to look at other markets. Philadelphia's changing.
Okay.
Philadelphia's. The local government they're trying to slow this train down. They're trying to slow this train down. The train left the station and it's been running. Ain't nobody at the helm of it.
Okay.
And you know the Cowboys done ran and tracked it down. They try to stop this thing.
Okay.
So
Can we,
it's.
Can we ask what markets you got that you interested in? We got
Sunbelt states. Sunbelt states. That's all I tell you. I tell you Sunbelt states. The Sunbelt. I gotta go somewhere where you ain't fighting me because I'm a landlord. You know?
I got you. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's you gotta deal with all this, and it's like
they giving them 9-month payment plans down there at the land.
that's what I'm saying. Like how what at the end of the day, listen, I'm gonna finish out my inventory of what I got here. I'm not gonna sell my stuff because I need my base. I'm gonna stick to the script. That was the plan. You know, when adversities show up, you gotta stick to that script because it's coming. But yeah, you got to make some changes and start going some other places. But I'm not saying that you can't still do stuff in Philly. It's the product got to change. What you buying? Like I just started a nonprofit. This was for 2020. We just formed our board. It's called BEAT, Building Equitable Action Together. You can go www.beatsolutions.org, and it's pretty much for affordable housing development and also community outreach. So I formed a board. There's 5 of us on the board right now. And so we're going to be going out. I'm primarily going to be focused more on trying to do affordable housing projects. The other half of the board is going to be doing community outreach and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's because I'm seeing what's going on, and there's a need for it. It's an affordable housing crisis, and the problem is we just don't understand how to tackle it. It needs to be some investments. It's a partnership thing between the local government and the private developers to invest in these projects together. It can't just be one way. It has to be something that everyone does together to make it work.
Okay.
And that's just the way it has to be.
Right.
Because right now it's this is a cost thing, especially as a market rate developer as I am. I know the cost of construction is high. So when I get done, in order for me to satisfy my obligations to the bank, I have to cover that debt service coverage ratio. Usually it's 1.25. So if I spent all this money on this new construction project, I got to get rents that'll cover that. So that way the building can be financially stable. And if it's not financially stable, we just got a bad product.
All right. And so I think we got time for like 2 questions. One more question for you is, even with buying the apartments or the bigger projects,
yeah,
construction bigger projects, or is it still like, is it okay here to still like just buy, a development, not a development, but like an apartment building somewhere, but that's something that is not being utilized properly?
Well, that's the value add. Ain't none of this stuff. If any good deal is not going to be, they fucked up. They got to, that's just the way the game is. All the good deals is something with a problem.
Okay.
You see it. Everybody's showing the project when the house. You got to do surgery to the crib. You got to take the top off, extend the back, and pop this up here. It has a problem, and that's the one thing people don't understand. Like I try to tell people all the time, you got to look at them abandoned houses like a car that ran out of gas.
Just need some fuel.
Your car run out of gas, you can't go nowhere with it.
Right.
You got to fill the tank back up. So when you buying them houses from the sheriff's of tax lien Jones, they total gut jobs. That's basically a car that's had no tank in it. And when you renovate it, you fill the tank back up. Right. You put more life back into it. And as you go along, the actual tank starts to deplete. They call that depreciation. That's why I said there's no such thing as a free and clear house. They tell me, LeVar, I ain't got no note. What you gonna do about insurance, taxes, and that water bill? And you can't get around depreciation. I don't care what you do. Right. You can't escape that. They put it in the tax code. Depreciation is in the tax code because the IRS knows that the goods and resources that you put into the property will degrade over time.
Right.
If the IRS noticed, then how? I don't understand. Think about it. You put that new roof on. You think that flat roof is going to last? Come on now.
Right.
You've done projects. You put that new roof on, right? That flat roof, which is the worst roof you can have, is a flat roof. That boy get up there with some rolls of rubber and roll it on and hot torch it together. He slapped that thing on and he charged you a fee, right? He go over top of the existing roof that's there,
Right.
right? I've been on plenty of roofs when they got to tear the whole roof off. Why? Because everybody then took their layer on it, they layer and layer, and the roof get too heavy at that point. You know what I mean? Everybody done put their yamin on it.
Right.
And once you do that and it's too much,
now
you got to tear that thing off. It's going to degrade over time. And then, you know, you get them 10, 15 year. How many times you done seen a roofer with 10, 15 year warranty and you get that crazy ass rainstorm and that thing leaking? So you mean to tell, like, the house ain't, you know.
And now these roofers getting crafty. I don't know how a roof warranty, I think it's only good for a year. Like brand new roof. Like how you?
But that probably is the truth. They was lying before. That 10-year, 15-year warranty was game. They was lying. That's the truth. They get that thing on there. Listen, they ain't gonna last that long.
He said a year, and I think you gotta, or 2 years, and you gotta call him back, but he's silver coated or something.
Come on, man. That's the game. This is how the game go. I get you a new roof, right? In order to maintain the warranty, this 10-year warranty, you got to coat this thing every 2 years. You got to keep me coming.
Right.
It's almost like QuickBooks. Before you can download the disc for QuickBooks, now it's online. Every month I need a payment. No different. Everybody, listen, man, the game is the same no matter what you do. It's you know, it's going to keep you coming back.
I got you.
It's therapy. It's therapeutic. This ain't, you know.
So, all right. So before we lose, because it's almost 9, right? So going.
It's almost been an hour?
Yeah, they give you an hour.
Dang, I can talk about this stuff all night long.
No, my kids is good. I ain't got nowhere to go. So I mean, as long as you good, I'm good. And I know, look, you see all of the fire going up. The people love it. Yo, drop some more fire to let Lamar know that y'all love this. Tell him that he's giving us nothing but game. Drop some fire emojis.
We can do this all night long, man.
Going into 2021, though. So, all right, so we being more.
Yeah.
We getting our credit together.
Yeah.
And we gonna learn to level up.
Yeah.
In regards to not just.
And we're gonna sacrifice.
Oh, don't forget.
We're gonna stop pump faking. We don't need the Gucci belt. You don't have to have it. You don't need it. We're gonna stop pump faking, and we're gonna get to we're gonna get to it.
Right.
You gotta remember, you behind. You behind.
Facts.
In the race, you behind.
No, facts. Facts.
If you behind in the race, how you got your hands up?
Popping bottles, we can't.
How you talking about we won? You behind.
So look though, I'm saying, look, I feel like, can it be a happy balance? So I'm not saying I need to celebrate every little week, but everyone's.
Yeah, listen. You do gotta take time. You gotta take time to celebrate yourself. This is what I do. I skim off the top. I take mad money. So let's say I thought I was gonna make 10, right? I end up making 12. I take the $2,000 off the top, put it into a mad money account. I build that up, and I ball out with that.
You said
I do anything with that. A mad money account. You gotta just go mad with it. Do anything you want.
That's your account.
You want to throw it away, throw it in the air, just the mad money.
That's my fuck you money. I can do what I want with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to do some of that. Yeah. Don't think that I'm just sitting up here just is all disciplined and you know what I mean, everything is right and everything is right and I just did it like that and no, it ain't like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I got some habits, some bad habits like everybody else. I got bad habits. I got
but you separated the money and you didn't do it prematurely because, and I tell people my honest truth, I had some money prematurely and I draw. And then when the drought came, I'm like, oh, what happened?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, my first new construction, I did my first new construction, 3908 Warren Street. I'm gonna give you the address. It was 2013.
Receipts.
So I did that joint. I sold it, made the money right. I took the whole cheese and went back to the jail, so spent everything in 30 days.
At the sheriff's cell, though.
I went back.
Okay.
And double, because I had bought the lot from the sheriff. I went back and spent the whole thing. I ain't take nothing for myself. And I went to my man crib. I was like, yo, dog, I spent it all. He was like, what you, I spent the whole thing. I spent it all. But I did on project, came back.
Right.
I done made some mistakes out here. Don't get me wrong. I done made a lot of mistakes.
Because the thing is, you put that money in a lot that was going to bring you money later on. Versus
Yeah, but I had, listen, I had to understand a lot of that, understand inventory. I had to understand all that because I had bought a bunch of stuff in Grays Ferry, like a bunch of joints. And I had got too much inventory. And I got fucked up one time. And it was like, all right.
So can you explain that a little bit? Like how can you buy too much inventory?
Because if manufacturer can't keep up with product, you got to get through it. It has to be, there's a synergy between your manufacturing process and how much product you got in the street. Put it like this. If you was in a regular store, a corner store, and you had 30 gallons of milk, there's a time life on that milk.
Right.
And you only sold 10 gallons. You got 20 left. The other 20 are about to go bad.
Okay.
And now you got to recuperate that money. So I went crazy one time when I was just like, oh, this shit is boom. And I had bought too much. I made some money, but I didn't get what I was supposed to get.
Right, because you had to get off.
Because, well, you know, I'm going to give you a true story. This was common. So I had sold like 6, 7 joints. At the time, I need to get some cash up. I had to go on, you know, sometimes you got to cash in an account. You got to do what you got to do. Because with us, we ain't got no backup. A lot of times, we taking care of people, right? You financially responsible for individuals, right? And you ain't got no backup. So you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you got to cash in an account. There ain't nothing wrong with it. I tell people all the time, man, you got to do what you got to do. Ain't no shame, especially when you out here swinging for the fences. When you trying to get somewhere, you swinging for the fences. I tell them all the time, like, it ain't no shame in striking out because you swinging for the fences.
Right.
You know you're going to lose. But it's called failing forward. I make mistakes all the time. I go on all my job sites and be like, man, y'all fucked that up. Like, but I see it. But the other person be like, it's cool. But I'm like, damn, that Jones. But you're going to fail forward, man. Listen, man, I can't, like I told you last time, you're going to die anyway. You're going to leave here. Everybody's going to leave here. So if you understand that, so why not? Why just go? It ain't going to be perfect. Sometimes we want it to be all lined up. You know, I call it the A students. The A students wanted to be pretty. They got to have everything lined up right before they make a move. Right. And before you know it, this boy done made the move, then messed up 3 times. But if I make the move and it's 100% and I come back at 80% because I messed up 20% of it, I made the move while you ain't do nothing.
Right. You still at square one.
And you still at square one. You know how many people that came to me plenty of times and I take the time to sit down and talk to you and a year later you still talking the same thing. Come on now. I got to get this right. Man, just go out here and mess some money up. That's your best teacher. I know it's been mine. I done lost some money. Don't think that we've been out here just it's all up.
Right. So
you gonna get some hits along that way. I done got a couple times where they done swiped the council people that came in and swiped some lots. I had some R1 shit and she swiped it to RSA 5 and devalued it, John, and I was sick up in the crib, getting ready to go crazy. I'm like, damn, I got to get it back. And I called my zoning attorney on the phone. He's like, LeVar, look, man, I know you're upset. It's all good. But get you some coffee, wipe your tears, and do what you got to do.
Right.
It was like, it's almost like when the boy on Taken, when his daughter is hounding dad, they in here. He said, daughter, they're coming. Be cool. And they're going to take you. That's a hard, cold truth, man. That's hard. That's hard. That's a hard truth, man. That's hard. That's hard.
But like you said, it's part of the game. But that's the part.
It's part of the game.
So we just got to touch on that a little bit. I got to pull from you because social media, most people don't talk about the licks. And them, like you said, them licks come. Like I said, like, yo, I done fucked up some money earlier than I was supposed to fuck up some money.
Yeah, fuck up some money.
Some deals that shouldn't have did. But you know, it was all, like you said, it was all stuff that helped me now. My toolkit, my tools is a lot more sharper now.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. You're going to make in this business. You're going to make some mistakes. There ain't no way around it. You're gonna deal with them subs. Them subs is rough. You got to get the right people around you. You got to get the right subs around you. You know, you're gonna deal with some problems. The game is set up to deal with problems. That's just the way it is.
But when you got problems and you learn how to solve them, you make money.
Yeah. Long as that's why I said this can't be about the money. You gotta want to do this. Because if it's just about the money, as soon as that adversity show up, and then you like, no, I don't want to do this.
Wow, right.
You gotta want to do this. Like you gotta be built, you gotta be wanting to do this. You gotta deal with this nonsense. You gotta remember, I do new construction now, so it came with a whole different set of parameters that I didn't know was gonna happen. People don't like new construction, man. It has a sentiment about it that I never understood was gonna happen until I actually started doing it. People, for some reason, that new building go up, man, it's fascinating to people, and they want to mess with it, they want to throw rocks at it, they want to do all types of stuff, and they complain about it. But it comes even like when you got to upgrade your subcontractors on them job sites. That ain't rehab. It's different type of subs. You got rehab subs and you got new construction stuff. You can't use them all on the same thing, man.
Right.
They ain't set up a certain way. This and that. And listen, you out there wrestling that bear. Some days you get the bear. Sometimes the bear gets you. That's just the way the game is set up. Like that's just what it is.
Right. But
I'll never tell you that everything I did was right on to where it's like I just made it. No.
Guys,
It came with some nonsense. Every time. Nonsense.
So even with your process and your growth, so I'm saying outside of the real estate, just keep the mental focus. How do you keep your mental straight?
I've been going to the gym a lot lately. A whole lot lately.
Okay.
The gym is good. I take my trips. You know, when I go out, anybody that know me know I like to talk a lot of trash. Like I like to come around, I like to have a good time. I like to talk trash. I like to have fun.
Okay.
So you got to find what is your peace time. But you got to understand, for me, real estate, I love it. So the problems that I have with it is just me trying to control people to do what I need them to do. If I didn't have that problem, it'd be easy. If anything, if I told you exactly what I told you to do, you did it when I told you to do it, we wouldn't have no issues. But that ain't how it go, because you got to remember, it's 30 to 40 different subs that you got on a job site, especially when you're running it yourself. And you don't know, listen, you got some days the boy he come to work, he feeling good. Some days he not feeling good. You don't know what's going on in his home life. You don't know what's happening. I tell you, I lied to you not. My first new construction, first foundation guy I used, we halfway through the joint, he come in, because I told him, I said, the lip on the side, he didn't do it right. So he come sit down on the step. He about to go through a divorce. This is the first time I've used it. And I guess he needed somebody to talk to, because he spilled his whole story to me. And he was like, yo, man, and every time he just kept saying, that bitch, just, damn, like it's just 30-something years, this is what she gonna do to me. People are human, man.
Right.
It ain't that book tell you hire the electrician, he gonna do the job, and that's right. Come on.
Pay him in draws, right.
Yeah, pay him in draws, and that's what's gonna, listen, man. The sub act different when it's too cold, the sub act different when it's too hot. He get too hot up on there that you ain't got no AC up inside the joint. He just gonna get that thing in there real quick so he can get to that air conditioner in his truck. When it's too cold in that building, because you go into a building, it be colder in the building than it is outside.
Right.
You up here, you the GC, you being cheap, you ain't got no warmers in there. You tell him, you figure, he could just go in there and get it in, put some clothes on. You think that guy will do a right job for you? He's sitting up here, as soon as he put his hands out, his hands balling up because it's so cold. Stop it, man.
But going back to that part, not themselves, but just being able to deal with all of that. So like going to the gym is how you decompress. Like in 2020 hasn't taught me anything. The most valuable is like, yo, I gotta take time for myself.
What I started doing, I was riding bike early in the year. My man put me on a riding bikes.
Pedal bike.
The pedal bike, yeah. I haven't rode bike like that since I was a kid. But he
Okay.
put me on to the different type of bikes, you know.
No, bikes is
And
serious.
we started doing that, and that was, you know, that was when the gyms, everything was shut down. Even the stuff in Jersey
Right.
everything was shut down. So I was out there, you know, riding bikes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And you know,
bikes and running. We got a lot of like clubs in Philly now with the bike riders, even running.
yeah. So everybody's doing things throughout this. People are always going to find ways to innovate. That's just the human experience. At one time, you was walking. Then somebody said, that's taking too long. We got to come up with a wheel.
Right.
You put a wheel. This how crazy the human experience is. They get one wheel, then they get two wheels, and they get three wheels, they get four wheels. Then they say, well, damn, we got a cart, but we need something to pull this thing. Then you get one horse, you pull it. It's going to a certain thing. And then now you're trying to go faster, so you get two horses, three horses, four horses. And then you come up with a term called horsepower. Like, we're always going to innovate to try to come out, you know, on top. That's just, people are generally lazy. And that's the whole point, because they want to do something, be more efficient with it. That's why social media, I had to look at social media because I was like, damn, how do people just doing this? It's not about the quality of the information. It's about the efficiency of how you get it out to the street. Social media is not about that.
More people you get in front of, you know, and the more consistent you are, you know, eventually they're gonna catch on.
They're gonna catch on, because at the end of the day, if you talking it and you showing it, people believe you. People generally want to believe you. That's how people get ripped off in American Greed. I watch that show all the time. I just wonder how these boys getting these boys for all this money, because people want to believe you.
Right.
And if you got that type of energy, and then they go from there. That's just the way it is.
Right. American Greed and How I Made My Million.
Oh, exactly. Yo, you gotta listen, man. You gotta. There's certain things you can look at. All the information that you need is in the street. You just gotta learn how to extrapolate it and say, okay, I can use that, because it's all duplicatable.
Right.
There's nothing. None of this stuff is new. None of this stuff is new. It's all duplicatable to what other avenues are. It's no different. It's no different. The flip game, the guys now is doing stock options and stuff like that. It's the same flip game as doing real estate. You buying something you buying a contract, selling it at a later date at a price that you got right now. What's the difference? It's the same thing.
Right. One you
it's
just
not like
One you just don't got to deal with the subs with.
Yeah, you know. Well, we had found this to deal with the subs, but when we was that lot flip game, you know, we never even saw them. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother thing. It's crazy, because there's so many things. I've seen guys do some crazy stuff, man. Like, if you understand, you know, the lot, this is what I'm buying it at, this the value was worth with the zoning in place, balls, you know. And then me and my cousin did a couple of deals like that. And that's when it was like, oh, shit. That's how you do that?
Right.
Oh.
So now,
yeah.
Now with the market the way it is, no sheriff sale, can you still make plays on lots? Can we still get some lots in Philly?
Yeah, you know, you got to look. You got to grind. There's deals all over the place. You just got to find them. It's just not plentiful. It's like you're looking for a needle in a haystack. You in the Polo store right now trying to find the shirt that you want on your size. You know how you go in the store and they got the sneaks you want. You just ain't got that size you need. You gotta find that size. That's just what it is. That's the same way. It's no different. It's deals. It's always gonna be deals. This thing always gonna move and shake, man. It's nothing. It's always gonna do that. This thing will always move and shake, because the system is set up to move and shake. You're gonna have ups and downs, in and out. You know, you got Trump coming out, Biden coming in. That's a whole nother story. You know, I got my own opinion about that, but I don't really like to express my opinions on everything, because
I ain't gonna actually tell you to pull from it. But what I do want to know, right? Let's just say if I want, right? Anybody that got questions, go ahead and drop your questions down. So I'm just letting people know this is the last IG live of the year. We started with LeVar, we ended with LeVar. So I definitely appreciate you always getting the game, giving motivation, man. Definitely looking forward to seeing what you got going in 2021. What did he say? Ugo said he 5 foot. He always gonna hustle to find his size clothes. Salute to you, Ugo. You definitely a hustler, man. You know, you always grinding, man. But again,
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's all we got to do, man. Sometimes you got to. I tell people all the time to hustle, but try to hustle smart, and also understand. I had to learn how to slow down at certain times. They say I got enough right now.
okay.
Let me sit back. Let me evaluate. If I got enough going on right now, I don't have to buy nothing. And then sit back and say, I learned that from the small commercial bank. I learned that. I was getting loans from the commercial banks. And then my banker said, LeVar, right now, we're going to take 3 months off. We got too much in the pipeline. We got to clear up the pipeline. Then we'll be back. So if the bank can do that, you can't sit your ass down for a sec. If you got too much going on, get your house in order, man.
No, what you said before, I think everybody got leaks in their roofs, or what was you saying? Before you was killing us with that before.
Damn, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Hold up.
Can you hear me? You paid? Can you see me?
I don't know. It's like it muted.
Can y'all hear me? Tracy, can you hear me?
Damn, what happened? It muted. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
See. What happened? I can't. It muted. He said we can hear you, but I can't hear. We said we hear y'all, but I can't hear him asking me questions. Technology, man, you know.
Hold on,
You might have to type it in the comment or something. Like, man, this is crazy. Hold up. Just restart the live. He said just restart the live and do another. You want to do that? You want to do that? So how we gonna? We just gonna kick it off, and you gonna kick it off, and I'm gonna kick back on.
Yeah.
That's how you want to do that? All right, we'll do that. Yeah, do that.